Trish Toby with WARC reporting to you live from Westchester, New York, where there appears to be some sort of mutant menace on the loose.
Hey everybody, I'm Matt Allcamp.
And I'm Pat Reber.
And say it with me, Pete.
Welcome to Mutant Menace.
Hey, my headphone cord fell out. Did you and Pete do it good?
Yeah, we nailed it.
That's awesome.
It's too bad you'll never hear it.
How are you doing, Pat?
I'm good. I forgot to switch to my podcasting chair. Hang on. I'm doing good, Matt.
Yeah?
Little fun fact, I am wearing the undershirt that I got married in today.
That is a fun fact. Sorry, I was going to kind of make fun of you for it and say, "Oh, what is that a fun fact?" But no, I'm going to choose to feel as if that's a fun fact.
Thank you. Yeah, let's be sweet today.
I got 3 vaccines in my little arm.
Whoa.
And
which ones? I'm just kidding. That's a HIPAA violation to tell me.
I think I can volunteer it. Pat's...
No, it would be illegal for me to listen.
Pat's got his fingers in his ears and he's going la 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 la.
I've still got my headphones on. I've just slipped my fingers under them to cover my ears.
Whoa!
Oh. Whew. Sound guy always trying to scare us. Always trying to get me.
It's October, so it's, the spooky season.
Right into Pat's email corner this week. We are starting
I thought you meant hey, right into Pat's email corner this week, and then we'd be out of the segment.
Oh, that's clever. Please, right into Pat's email corner in this week. But let's get right into Pat's email corner this week. Simon from Hell, one of our favorite regular contributors,
hey, Simon from Hell,
has provided us with what we asked for, Matt. We got a pixie drawing, the first of the drawings that we requested. And Simon, it is brilliant.
It looks great. I love Pixie. I love this drawing. I also love how Simon from Hell takes a moment to let us know he's not actually from Hell. But that's what you would say if you were in Hell.
That's not canon.
Yeah, if you were in Hell, you'd tell everyone, I'm not in Hell. I'm just in French Canada.
Should we start calling him Simon from French Canada? We really did. If folks aren't familiar, he said there's not really many places for him to leave flyers as a member of our street team.
We were then trying to figure out where he could possibly be from, and our decision was he was probably from Hell, because the flyers would burn up right away. And
coolest possible place to be from.
He would also burn his little tootsies, is I think what we decided. But he's just in French Canada.
Yeah, he would actually freeze off his little tootsies.
So it's Simon from Hell and or French Canada.
Yeah, but very, very grateful, Simon. Thank you for the beautiful art. Moving on, though, to Weapon Jason, another regular contributor that we love. He gives us some insight into actually Scott's leaving at the time. I'm pretty sure we asked for this, but
yeah, we did.
He is someone who experienced it live in person. He says, at the time, the reaction to Scott leaving wasn't major. We'd had Banshee, Angel, Iceman, Sunfire, Havoc, and Polaris all walk away, only to turn up in the comics later, so I remember just expecting we'd check in on him. What did feel major was the sense of movement and change in the book, though.
Interesting. So there wasn't like a specific oh my God, Jean's dead, or oh my God, Scott is leaving the X-Men. It was more just this book is nuts.
Oh yeah, actually, I will follow up on that. Weapon Jason, was Jean's death as impactful, or was it just assumed oh well, Magneto's died a bunch, he'll be back?
Also, what else happened in 1981? And let's get your opinion on those.
Yeah.
1981.
Look up a 1981 fun fact.
And also, how did everybody feel about Buck Fizz's song "Make Your Mind Up" when it won the Eurovision Song Contest that year?
Oh, yeah. Talk to us about Eurovision in the early 80s, Weapon Jason, please. We also asked for a bit more insight on Henry Peter Gyrick, knowing
Yeah.
that he was established in the Marvel Universe, but we thought he was just some government suit. I'm paraphrasing here. He says that the Avengers were essentially at this point wired into S.H.I.E.L.D. and all government databases. Gyrick was a government agent inspecting their security and multiple times found it lacking.
Okay, so he was like not a villain, but like a foil at the
Yeah.
time.
He would find his way into the Avengers mansion by subverting their security, and then he would just he'd be Avengers
So
shaking his fist.
So this is the first time he's appearing in the comics as a villain when he joins Project Wide Awake.
No. So,
okay.
Weapon Jason says, effectively, the Avengers are operating as unsupervised government agents at the behest of a techno-industrialist with far-reaching access to sensitive data and no government oversight. Says, so not at all relevant to today. He ends up putting in a bunch of rules for the Avengers membership and becomes an advocate for limiting the power of superheroes, which culminates in him trying to end the Avengers through a series of Senate hearings.
Oh, so he had just come off of being a villain in the Avengers. Like there was an arc which led to him being sort of like a government villain, and now suddenly appears in the X-Men as a government villain.
Yes, and he's never the main villain. It seems like other villains show up, aliens show up during the Senate hearing, and they get more concerned with that. But he, as we know, is a government antagonist to the Avengers.
Wow. Okay.
Thanks, you, Weapon Jason.
Weapon Jason.
Yeah,
that's
the history
interesting
lesson
information
we needed.
Don't forget to tell us about whatever that song was I said from Eurovision.
Magic the Dog. You remember Magic the Dog?
Oh no.
One of our artists that likes writing in, she has written in with 2 new renditions of Matt and Me. They are just as terrible as the last one. We have Magneto and Pode. If you remember, the former version was Pat Nito and Mode.
Yeah.
This is us in reverse positions. My face isn't as fucked up as you made yours in the original, but you look strong as Magneto.
I've got bulgy little muscles, and you're riding on my back. And it says Racing Weapon Jason at the bottom.
Racing Weapon Jason. A reference to Weapon Jason. And then, of course, we get another Pat Nito and Mode. And
where you seem to be pounding on my head like it's a drum.
This one looks offensive to both of us. I am muscular but pretty fat with little tiny legs, and I look like just a
legitimate toad.
Like an actual animal toad.
And except for my eyeballs, which are drawn with a different caliber paintbrush, and by which I mean Microsoft Paint.
He really captures your beady little eyes.
I have Magic draws the entire picture in one size of brush, except for my eyes, which are a much smaller size of brush. We'll have to post this on Instagram.
Yeah. Also, this one mentions email Michael, so shout out to
you won't say what it says.
Weapon and Jason. Yeah, it says something inappropriate. We'll let you imagine what that means. Email Michael.
Yeah, it's not insulting to you. It's more insulting to us.
Yeah, exactly. And then finally, we got Mikey 2 mails with, get this, Matt, 2 emails. He starts with episode 26, where I think we first mentioned his issues with email formatting. And he says, "Hey, Pat, tell Matt I said hi. I have almost caught up on the podcast. It's been such a good distraction for me. Also, Matt was slow on the introduction this episode. Pete and you were right on
Whoa!
time.
Whoa, well, he'll like this one
Ooh.
where I fucking nail it.
Welcome to Mutant Menace.
And then his second email is subject episode 29. He says, "Hi, Pat. Tell Matt that it's me again. I'm glad you all enjoyed the email of just my name. Also, regarding the lab explosions, I think some of my staff did develop superpowers. One of them got really good at juggling while working there. He could juggle 3 tennis balls at once."
Huh.
And then, do you remember he mentioned something about bug suckers in that email?
Yes, I
We
do
were both
remember.
like, okay.
The words bug sucker has stuck in my head like a bug sucker.
He clarifies and knocks some memories loose for us here. He says, also regarding the bug suckers, they were lollipops that had a dead bug inside of them. Ants, crickets, and scorpions. You mentioned in an episode, if anyone could prove they were in a lab explosion, you would eat a bug. So I mentioned those as a way for you all to eat bugs, but it not be horrible. Cheers.
Okay.
Mikey
Well,
emails.
Pat, it seems like me and you're gonna have to eat some bugs.
I don't remember. Can we get somebody to go back and confirm that it was both of us that offered to eat a bug?
Well, do you have any more emails, Pat?
No. Me and the sound guy are on the same page today. That is the end of Pat's email corner this week. I'll let the song play out. Are you mad at me?
Who, the sound guy? Okay, it seems like it's done now.
Oh, Matt.
Yeah.
I gotta ask, did you do anything X-Men related this week?
I did, actually.
Ooh.
In the county where I live, in Pennsylvania, Chester County, there was a collectibles show in a nearby college town. And I went, and it had comic books and cassette tapes and trading cards and action figures, all sorts of stuff. And there were some really cool action figures, a lot of stuff from the 90s. So there was like, I almost bought a Strong Guy action figure. There was a giant Kingpin. It was just like normal height, but like the size of 2 action figures next to each other.
Oh, man. That era of action figures is so, I think we've talked about it before, but they had action figures based on the cartoon shows. They had action figures based on movies that were coming out at the time.
Yeah.
They also had action figures based on the actual comics.
It's wild. And I found at least 2 different Shatterstar action figures.
Ooh,
I remember...
two differently made Shatterstar action figures. Okay.
And I found there was one that I had as a kid, which was Cameron Hodge. And you could fill up this pump,
okay,
and then stick it in his back and squeeze the plastic pump, and he would shoot water out of his gun hand. I don't know what that was supposed to be, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. I bought a lot of comics. I actually didn't buy any action figures, but the one comic that I bought that I'm really proud of is, I'm showing it to Pat right now,
Obnoxio the Clown
versus the X-Men.
Amazing.
It is just like, it's a character who appeared in this one comic book, written and drawn by Alan Kupperberg, who was just like an inker and artist and sometimes writer.
Yeah.
In the
time,
time,
his shot,
and he just made this like disgusting little clown who fights the X-Men. So in 1983, we'll have to read Obnoxio the Clown versus the X-Men.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I'm very excited to have found this. But that's what I did X-Men related. Pat, did you do anything X-Men related this week?
Gosh, Matt, for the first time in a while, no.
All right, well,
no.
That's okay. Hey, buddy. Hey, look. Hey, look at me. That's okay. It's okay. It's all right. You know what? Why don't you just kick back and you can take care of yourself. You don't have to worry about anything. I'm going to read you a little story
Yeah, tell me a story, Matt.
called ROM number 17, Hybrid.
Wait.
What?
It's called what?
Okay, so we are not reading X-Men this week.
We're reading one X-Man.
We're reading one X-Man towards the end of the... so at this time in 1981, the X-Men kind of go on a little tour across other comic books.
Which is a sign of success, right? This isn't
I hope.
this isn't the dark era where they're just desperate for places to be the X-Men. This is the X-Men's popularity.
I hope so, because otherwise this podcast is going to run out of stuff to talk about. But first they appear here in ROM. Pat, what the fuck is ROM?
ROM, Matt.
Yeah.
There is, and this is a big part of the reason that I don't care for Jim Shooter, our editor-in-chief, but ROM...
Never heard of him.
Space Knight.
Okay.
Sorry, Jump Shooper, editor-in-chief.
Oh, yeah, I know him.
ROM Space Knight is part of an era at Marvel where they are doing a lot of consulting with toy companies.
Okay.
And Jump Shooper is a huge fan of advocating for the toy companies. So we get ROM Space Knight, we get Micronauts,
Right.
both of which are just created to and released to coincide with the toy commercials going on television, so that you can buy the toy and then read the comic.
So this was invented as a toy, and then they were like, "What if we also made it have any sort of content?"
Yes,
to it.
Exactly. Here's the story you need to understand why this toy exists. And both comics, ROM, Space Knight, and Micronauts, were way more popular than they had any right to be.
That's so interesting.
Just being the product of a marketing ploy. But they were also, I haven't read Micronauts, but what we've read of ROM Space Knight, because we'll get to more a little down the road, is interesting. It's not great. We can talk about it after we get through the episode. Anyway, eventually this is going to lead us to Secret Wars, because a toy company just buys Marvel, and Jim Shooper says, "Yeah, let's just make a big action figure play session into a comic book."
We will actually also be talking about Micronauts at some point on this podcast, but not for a little while now.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think like early next year. Anyway.
Stay tuned.
ROM number 17, Hybrid, written by Bill Mantlo.
More like Bill Mantlo, no. Bill Mantlo, no.
Bill Mantlo.
Oh, that's good. Bill Mono. Bill Mono.
Drawn by Sal Buscema. Lettered by Michael Higgins. Ben Shawn is the colorist. Joe Duffy is the editor. Jump Shooper's the editor-in-chief. And there's a consultant here, Pat. His name is Chris Claremont.
He's a Space Knight expert.
He was going to go into the Space Knights, but ended up moving to London, becoming a comic book writer. Release date January 13th, 1981. Cover date April 1981. Cerebro is going nuts!
What?
As Professor X explains that a power of incredible proportions has just manifested itself on Earth in West Virginia.
Oh.
He sends the X-Men out to investigate, as he stays behind and contemplates how useless he is because he's in a wheelchair. The X-Men are going to Clairton, West Virginia. Once again,
this is
fucking Bill Mantlo hates people with disabilities.
Yes, this was upsetting. This is also just immediately drawing us back to like the 60s, early 70s X-Men. Everyone is woken up by Cerebro, detecting an incredibly powerful mutant force. They have to go on a mission to go find him. Wolverine is just ready to kill him, right? As soon as...
Yeah, there's a very funny little sequence here where Professor X is explaining something like, oh, this is Cerebro. It finds mutants. And Wolverine pops his claws and he goes, yeah! and Professor X is like, Wolverine, please sheath your claws.
It's very funny, but it's also very Bill Mantlo to just be like, oh yeah, it's Wolverine. He wants to just kill everyone.
Yeah, and yell and excitedly yell, yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's worried that Magneto is going to try to recruit this new mutant. Have we had to worry about that in 10 years?
He hasn't done this in so long.
Professor X, of course, is noble but helpless because he's confined to a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And the other thing, they just explaining who the X-Men are and their powers, it's so
ham-fisted.
Yeah, I don't think we're giving Chris Claremont enough credit for how subtly he introduces that in each issue.
Coincidentally, ham-fist is another type of disorder that Bill Mantlo hates.
Did you know ham-fisting is actually like the pagan tradition of marriage?
So as they leave, Professor X is like, it's different than any mutant you've ever faced before. This one is not human. Yeah, dude. Yeah, we know it's a mutant. Yeah, you just said that.
The other way in which we're taken back to the Roy Thomas era is that Bill Mantlo still doesn't know what a mutant is.
Which we'll find out more and more as this. He writes the fucking X-Men like they're the Ninja Turtles, right? Like it's just like it's Splinter and the Ninja Turtles, where Splinter's just like, my turtles, there's a threat above ground, and they're like, don't worry, man, we'll get him. And then somebody else is like, I don't know, it might be scary up there. And I was like, kick his butt. Like that is like almost legitimately how the X-Men are written here. Anyway, we're taken to that small West Virginia town where Dr. John Stennis, my favorite one, is making a house called Jacob Marx's that's my favorite one. Jacob Marx's farm, taking note that all the livestock seems to have died. He enters to find Marjorie Marx. That's maybe my favorite one. A woman supposed to be in her late 30s, withered away and seemingly aged 50 years. Jacob enters and, in an attempt to calm the doctor, reveals he is not human, nor is their son, who has been the cause of all this trouble. The doc enters the son's room and flees in horror.
Ooh. This is actually it's a 2-page sequence where it's written like a horror comic of just something clearly wrong has happened here. There's some evil, and we just see a man discovering it.
Across town, at the home of Jonathan and Sarah Clark, oh man, I love all these characters. Yeah. Silas Lane, another one, arrives and is terrified to see ROM Space Knight, the toy, in their living room. It's okay, though, John assures him. ROM didn't kill all their friends. He actually killed duplicates of them that were actually wraiths. Actually, Pat, I think you might be misunderstanding here.
You're the one that said it.
I might be wrong here, but I don't think they're duplicates of their friends. I think their friends were just always dire wraiths in disguise.
Oh, okay.
I might be wrong. We're not following. I don't know. We're not following ROM Space Knight.
There's a moment here where after they explain it to Silas, he goes, "So there's 2 Steves?"
Maybe you're right.
Which I almost saved for my closing line of the show.
He's actually a good guy, Rom is. Rom explains that wraiths actually came here in 1945 in the confusion after World War II and assumed the form of humans.
Oh.
They all have the same birthday.
Yeah.
That's how you know who's a dire wraith, is like they all have the same birthday. So they had this brilliant plan to take over the Earth and assimilate themselves amongst the people of Earth, but they forgot to pick different birthdays.
Yep. That's their calling card, Matt.
Something's wrong, though, Patrick. Because ROM, the toy, senses the presence of a child in town created when a human mated with a wraith.
Whoa.
I'm doing that thing where I'm opening my mouth and pointing to my throat.
What's wrong with a wraith?
Nothing. I just would prefer people not mate interspecies.
All right. Let's not get on another tangent here.
They all take off in the snow to the home of Jacob Marks, who isn't interested in keeping his secret anymore. He reveals himself to be a wraith, but one that was able to break his conditioning and learn to love.
Oh.
He explains that he did sire a child with his human wife, Marjorie, and that elders of the wraith community found them and corrupted their son. Now he's leaning into the evil teachings of the wraiths and has developed terrifying power, seemingly able to bend reality to his will. How did this guy manage to romance a human woman? In all of his dialogue, he talks like a villainous alien. He's like, yes, it is I, the dire wraith. Hiding amongst the humans have I been. So it's like...
He keeps it a secret from her entirely, too.
Marjorie, now has come the time where one such as I shall ask you on a date. Leave not your clothes on, Marjorie, for I have the intent to make love, and so make love we shall.
Matt.
Yeah.
To me, it sounds like he's an alpha.
By the power of the Dark Nebula! Marjorie's like, what? Nothing! I didn't say anything.
Oh, man, we skip over it, but there are a lot of by-thes in this comic that get pretty nuts. By the galaxy of gas!
By the order of the Space Knights! ROM enters the farmhouse and confronts the child, who's 15 years old and playing with a truck, like a little toy truck.
It's very, that one Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah.
Where the kid has powers.
But in the Twilight Zone episode, they appropriately make the kid like 5.
Yeah.
And this is like
an angsty teen.
What do 15-year-old kids do? They play with trucks, right? So, confronts the child only to find that he can't simply banish this child to limbo with his ray gun like he did the other wraiths. The child,
of course,
changes into a creature from the Black Lagoon demon and announces his new name, Hybrid. He rages out.
Right? We love this, Matt. When a supervillain announces their new name.
I am my new name. He rages out, kills his father, and he and ROM fight. ROM decides to break his vow to never kill just this once because this boy is so evil.
He's okay with it. He's like, I have vowed never to kill, and until this day, I've never broken that. But you, child.
When I took my vow to never kill, I didn't realize somebody could just be so ding-dang evil.
Yeah, it's like, it's okay that I break it this time.
I couldn't have imagined this. Just as he's about to murder this child, though, the X-Men burst in and hastily assess the situation. ROM must be the bad guy. He's attacking an innocent child. Which they're not entirely fucking wrong. Even if he's evil, this kid's 15 fucking years old. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, so now ROM has just made enemies of the X-Men. To be continued.
Oh. Okay. So, the dialogue is bad.
Yes. It's very much like everybody constantly repeating their motivations. Like,
yes.
I defeated all of his dire wraith tutors. They will no longer be coming here. Son, he defeated your tutors. They won't be here to corrupt you anymore. Even though you have defeated my tutors, I shall know my birthright. I shall defeat you now, just like I defeated your tutors. It's like legitimately.
Okay, man, we get it.
And then
there's still another issue.
And then as they're fighting, they're just yelling like not even banter, just like
jargon,
you
like
monster.
superhero buzzwords.
I shall end you and all of your kind. You will not end my kind before I end you. But to end me, you first have to best me, and you won't be besting me, for I am the best. Oh, I will best you, and you'll be defeated by me.
Yes. Okay. So that I don't know that the decision making is very good here, but there are some things that Bill Mantlo does do well enough to make me say, God damn it, Bill Mantlo, why didn't you do this in the Champions?
Yeah.
Continuing exploration of concepts that were clearly introduced in older story arcs, right? They're just off this Wraith thing. Now here's an exploration of, oh, you thought the Wraiths were pure evil, but here's one that learned to love. It turns out it's actually just conditioning that does this. There are some character-based decisions here. ROM Space Knight doesn't make a ton of sense, but the decisions he makes are at least consistent.
Okay.
And there's some slow burn reveals here. Like, we very slowly learn that Jacob Marks is actually a Wraith and why he's here, what he's doing, what the actual evil is here. Very horror-esque pacing through most of the comic.
Yeah, there's not bad storytelling here. I agree with you there. It's just Bill Mantlo still has this need to fill up every space. If a character, like we talked about this with Bill Mantlo before, if a character's on a page, they have to talk.
Yeah, yes. Oh, I'm not forgiving him here. I am mad at him for not having done this earlier.
Yeah.
This might be the Claremont consultant credit too. Weren't they like friends or roommates or something? He may have just been like, hey, maybe you should structure the story like this outline I drew up for you.
They clearly were friends because there's so much crossover between the two and their comics, right? Pat, what I'm on the edge of my freaking seat. What happens?
Well, I'll tell you, Matt, because it unfurls in ROM number 18, and a child shall deceive them.
What a stupid name.
You know that famous quote? Bill Mantlo and Sal Buscema, writer, storytellers, and artist. M. Higgins letters, Ben Sean colors, Milgram inks and Ed, Giacoya inks, Jay Schuper Ed-in-Chief, Chris Claremont, and Joe Duffy inspiration and assistance.
Interesting.
Yeah, we find it's been so long since we got even somewhat goofy credits, so I'm glad they're getting a little silly here. Release date February 17th, 1981. Cover date May 1981. We pick up where we left off. The X-Men mistakenly believe ROM to be the mutant and that he's threatening Hybrid, who they believe to be an innocent 15-year-old boy named Jimmy. ROM, seeing no way to convince them otherwise, stands dumbfounded until the X-Men attack.
He thinks to himself, how can I convince them that this is all a mix-up? Try saying anything! You haven't tried even saying anything to them! He goes the next 7-8 pages without one line of dialogue.
He's just thinking, too. We get 2 full pages of him thinking about what happened just in the last issue.
And the very first time he talks to somebody, they're like, oh, okay, sure, yeah. We got it wrong. He just talked. Okay,
he does refer to them in his thoughts as a mutant menace.
Mutant menace. That's 2. We didn't say it last issue, but that's 2 issues in a row of mutant menace.
Yeah. 2 episodes in a row too that we get shouted out.
So many mutant menaces. People
love us.
Really liked this podcast in 1981.
Okay, so the X-Men attack all of them except for Sprite, who is attempting to protect the boy, and Storm, who is having trouble controlling the blizzard around her.
Interesting.
We quickly discover that this is because Jimmy is using his telepathic powers to control Storm's powers and wrest control of the weather away from her without her knowing it.
Jimmy!
This is a very cool use of psychic powers that we haven't seen before.
Right.
Just like, instead of trying to take over somebody's brain or implant some sort of thought, he just finds the area of her brain that controls her mutant powers and starts
using
them.
Yeah.
She has no idea either. It's great.
I agree. That is a very cool idea.
ROM and the X-Men fight for a while until ROM reaches Kitty and tries to warn her. Jimmy responds by turning back into Hybrid right behind her and attacking. ROM tries to protect Kitty, but her phasing power fucks with his robot suit and he's almost killed until he summons his neutralizer from subspace and sets it to kill.
That's his ray gun. Yeah.
He only had it set to banish before. Yeah. He has a banish setting and a kill setting.
But hey, wait, don't count it out yet, because there's one more setting, everybody.
That's right. He just misses Hybrid, though, and Hybrid knocks the gun out of Rom's hand.
I love the fight with the X-Men because Wolverine just won't stop talking about his claws. It is exactly like the dialogue problems from last issue, where in every panel, Wolverine's like, "My claws will tear you up, bub. Wait till you get a taste of my claws." And they're like, "Oh, he's escaping. He won't escape my claws."
Have you seen my adamantium claws? He keeps saying adamantium too.
Yeah, that's true.
He also he can smell evil. We learn Bill Mantlo seems to think Wolverine can smell good and evil.
Right, and you kind of think it's like almost metaphorical at first, and no,
he uses it enough for it to be very literal.
It becomes very, very literal. It's throughout this story.
Meanwhile, the X-Men are all lost in the blizzard. Colossus stumbles upon the fight and realizes that it is Hybrid they are after, but Hybrid takes control of Colossus and turns him human again.
Cool.
Again, very cool.
Very cool.
He also expands Peter's throat muscles to cut off his oxygen, but Kurt is there to perform mouth-to-mouth.
Yeah.
They make out a little.
Yeah, there's just a big, long scene of them making out. And it is implied at the end of the issue that they make out for the rest of the fight.
It's what we've all been clamoring for.
Like, he just doesn't stop.
mutantmenacpod@gmail.com if you have any fan art.
No!
Colossus and Nightcrawler making out. Wolverine still smelling evil, but not sure it's coming from Rom. This is where it gets super literal.
Yeah,
yeah. No, the evil scent is not on this guy.
Yeah. I mean, it's like basically how he cracks the case for himself.
But nevertheless, he attacks the robot man. Kitty sees and attempts to tell Wolverine the truth, but Hybrid stops her. He now states that his new goal is to breed with Kitty.
Oh, God damn it.
So she drives a snowmobile at him, which doesn't work. This is a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah.
And Bill Mantlo, the first time he gets his hands on her, turns her into a sexual object.
And don't say it like that.
Okay.
No, you're right. And it sucks.
It's sucks. Gross.
Immediately, he's like, and he wants to breed with her.
He's such a bad writer.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Rom beats Wolverine's ass and hops back into his fight with Hybrid. Kitty tells Wolverine what's up, so he tries to fire the discarded neutralizer, but it almost kills him. Mm-hmm. So Kitty picks it up and is able to fire it. It's doing minimal damage, so Rom tells her how to turn up the intensity and tackles Rom into it, and they both disappear.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man.
Hybrid is blasted to pieces, and Rom is transported to Limbo. I'll tell you why, Matt, because the gun did have a third setting. There's banish, kill, and the third setting, banish and kill. But luckily, Hybrid and Rom both take the banish and kill shot. So I guess it splits banish from kill.
So kills
Hybrid, banishes Rom.
How does it know which one to do? To who?
I have to imagine it's based on Kitty's thoughts. Because that's how she changed the setting.
It's also that's why Wolverine couldn't do it, but Kitty could because her thoughts are pure.
Yep.
I don't know why. I don't know what it actually says. Like, I don't know. The reasoning
No, it
is
makes
not
just as
clear.
much sense.
Yeah.
The X-Men pick themselves up, acknowledge that ROM was a good guy after all, and wish him well wherever he is.
Yeah.
The end.
They just kind of wander away.
They have no concern.
Nope. Guess that guy's dead. Meh.
That's you remember when we learned he was the good guy?
I mean, Kitty cries.
Kitty cries,
And
but
Storm is just like, hey, it's all right.
sometimes people get murdered.
Sometimes you murder a guy and it's fine.
This is a very strong parallel to when Jean killed somebody and Scott was like, hey, you know what? Don't worry about it. That guy sucked.
If you thought killing somebody would disappoint me, it doesn't. So
yeah.
Then I guess there's no other negative side to killing somebody.
This is grooming, right? This is how you build a child army.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. This one was not good. It was just one long fight. That is my take.
I agree with you. There's just nothing of substance here, I think, is the problem.
Here's what I'm learning about Bill Mantlo. Everything we said about him was right. But to his credit, I think the one thing that probably got him a job in comics in general is his general framing of actionless segments. Right? I think every time we see Bill Mantlo try to figuratively illustrate a tense situation or a big battle, it's terrible. His choices are terrible. All of his characters' decisions don't make sense. Sure. But when we are watching ROM explain that he's not actually a bad guy, and we get to see like that 2-page horror story where the doctor discovers this horrible child, that stuff is solid. Not the dialogue, not the writing of it, but like the idea of it.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Trying to pluck a fresh mushroom out of this pile of shit.
You're right. Like I didn't hate all of this.
There was about a third of it.
I don't know that. I also just don't know that I got anything out of it. Right? Like I think I have this weird thing, Pat. When I take in any kind of art or writing, I like to derive meaning from it. Any kind of meaning, right? And I didn't here.
Well, it's ROM. It's ROM Space Knight.
Yeah.
Read only memory.
Yeah, it's ROM Space. You're right. It's ROM Space Knight. That is why they called him ROM, by the way. Like legitimately, it says it.
Because you can't upload anything new to him.
I think they just thought it sounded futuristic.
Did that term exist?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I guess it would have, right? We're in the age of the Apple IIe.
All right, Patrick.
Yeah.
I'm frigging done with ROM.
Yeah, me too, I think.
Again. I don't want to
never talk to him again.
I don't want to talk about ROM anymore. You know what I want to talk about? This might be unconventional. But it seems like somehow you already knew what I was going to say. That's strange.
Was it Spider-Man?
No. Okay, you didn't.
Then we weren't on the same page.
Yeah, we weren't on the same page. Okay, well, I was going to talk about Spider-Woman.
Oh,
all right. You don't have to hide how disappointed you are.
Bit by a radioactive lady spider, right? I don't know much about her backstory.
I think it was something like that. So this is Spider-Woman number 37. It's called Who Am I?
You're Matt.
No, it's called...
What's it called?
It's called Who Am I?
Matt.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Chris Claremont writer, Steve Lealoha, layouts. Okay, there's a lot of people doing inks on this issue. Austin, Wyachek, Weiss, Milgram, Springer, all doing inks.
I didn't notice.
I guess it's Terry Austin, Al Milgram, Steve Wyachek, the
Barry Weiss.
Yeah, Barry Weiss, the opinion columnist, and Frank Springer. Orzechowski, letterer, Gaff, colorist, I don't know, Denny O'Neil, editor, and Job Schuper, editor-in-chief. Release date, December 30th, 1980. Cover date, April 8, 1981. Nick Fury walks through the halls of a S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier as the narrator explains what a powerful man he is. Suddenly, aware that he's being followed, he quickly draws 2 pistols and turns around to find Spider-Woman!
Hey!
She's here to ask for Fury's help getting her private investigator's license, and she recaps her backstory to him. Okay. I didn't know any of this was Spider-Woman's
This
backstory,
blew
by the
my
way.
mind,
This is
man.
crazy.
This is wild.
This is really, really strange. All right. Because you feel like you'd glean this, right?
Yeah.
All right. She doesn't remember her early childhood or her parents.
Okay.
Her first memory is waking up from cryogenic hibernation and meeting the High Evolutionary,
What?
who promised to raise her as his daughter. She was raised on Wundagore, where the High Evolutionary was making manimals to try to recreate Camelot. These Animen didn't like her, and the High Evolutionary became obsessed with his work and ignored her. She left and found love on Earth, but accidentally killed her husband when she discovered her venom blast by accident.
I did know about the venom blast, just that she had it, not
Yeah,
that
just me
she
too.
killed her husband with it.
She was accused of being a witch by the whole town, but Hydra rescued her from the mob and turned her into a costume super spy. Okay, this part I knew.
Yeah.
Just the costume super spy part. She was sent to kill Nick Fury, but realized how evil Hydra was and ended up assassinating her Hydra leader instead. One of the big reasons she realizes how evil Hydra is that they don't like her costume.
It's so Bendis, Brian Michael Bendis, loved Spider-Woman and had her appear in a bunch of the comics that he was writing at the time.
Yes.
And so I knew the double agent, former Hydra employee story. The rest of this is the High Evolutionary, Matt?
Yeah, and how many Marvel superheroes grew up on Mount Wundagore? It's like every third one.
That is wild. Also, she was cryogenically frozen for 30 years, we find out.
It's really, really insane. That you feel like that would come up like a lot because I guess she has that in common with Captain America.
This is all told through the lens of her being like, "Oh, Nick, you know how it is with me. I don't remember my childhood. I woke up after 30 years of cryogenic hibernation. The High Evolutionary promised to be my father, raised me on Wundagore, but the Animen there didn't like me."
Yeah. Really, really, really insane. So, all right. La Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine.
La Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine.
I can only read La Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine's dialogue in Julia Louis-Dreyfus's voice.
Yeah. It really does define the character.
It fits, and it's like, holy shit, that casting was perfect.
Yeah, except here she is wearing more skin-tight and revealing clothing than Spider-Woman is.
Well, you're not going to get Julie Louis-Dreyfus to do that, right?
We're seeing her pubic hair. Like, we're seeing the top of her bush. Is that an okay thing to say?
I have to pull this up. I did not see the top of her bush.
It's her pants are just hanging down by like below her.
Oh my god, you're absolutely right. That has to be her pubic hair.
Yeah.
What is that? It's like her gun is pulling on her pants so hard that it's going across where the pubic hair would be, and there's like a bunch of black lines there.
Yeah, the belt she's wearing is clearly just for show. It's not actually for function.
That is nuts. I'm surprised that made it past the. What if Julie Louis-Dreyfus had walked out in the middle of like Thunderbolts dressed like this?
I mean, God bless her. I wouldn't have been mad about it.
Yeah, me neither. I'd been like, oh hey, that's Julie Louis-Dreyfus's pubic hair. All right. Anyway, La Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine shows up in an even more skin-tight costume, and after some jealousy bubbles up, Spider-Woman splits. Yeah.
They just had to have a moment where two women get into the same room, are jealous of each other, and then the story just goes on.
Yeah. That's the only thing that male writers in this era know how to do with female characters. I mean, it happens in this episode 3 separate times.
Yeah.
As Spider-Woman soars over San Francisco, we see a trolley below her carrying the dastardly Black Tom, Juggernaut, and a girl named Teresa? Just their friend, Teresa, discussing their plans to rob the U.S. supply of vibranium. Just on public transit, just talking about their evil, secret criminal plans.
On the famous San Francisco trolley. Going,
Cut to Westchester, New York, where Cerebro is indicating the presence of a powerful mutant in San Francisco. Xavier assembles the X-Men while, across the country, Jessica Drew sneaks into her apartment and gets out of her Spider-Woman costume. Half naked, we have to comment, she discovers that her roommate, actress Lindsay McCabe, is throwing an impromptu housewarming party. Lindsay McCabe, Pat!
Lindsay McCabe is here.
I love Lindsay
Matt, tell
McCabe.
us about Lindsay McCabe.
She's just wasn't going to see her for a while. She's Jessica Drew's best friend, and she'll be a big part of Wolverine. And when we finally get to that in the mid 80s.
I didn't know that. I thought this was just a person.
Nope, it's Lindsay McCabe.
All right.
She ends up being a big presence in Madripoor. So Lindsay McCabe's throwing a housewarming party. Also, we learn that Spider-Woman's apartment is haunted. Pat, what?
It comes up a lot. I have to assume that this will come into play in a later issue of Spider-Woman.
The party's in full swing, and Jessica is getting steamy with her landlord, David Ishima, when
they're getting close. They are pushing the boundaries of the Comics Code Authority.
He's like, I got you a little bonsai tree. And she's like, all right, come on and fuck me.
Well,
he takes her to his garden, and he immediately starts massaging her, and she's like, ooh, I like that.
Oh, yeah.
And they're about to... Yeah,
she is very clear.
It's great
that she's down for it. But they don't get to even make out, Matt.
I thought there was a kiss in there. Am I wrong?
Their lips start getting close, and then she goes, ah!
That's right. So that happens because her sensitive hearing picks up a piercing sonic scream. She ditches David and, as Spider-Woman, identifies the metro tunnel under the San Francisco Mint as the source of the scream. It's not a candy shop. It's like where they make the money.
Yeah.
She swoops down and sees a tunnel dug out. You knew that, right?
The San Francisco Mint Factory.
She swoops down and sees a tunnel dug out leading right into the vault. She dips in quietly and takes out Black Tom before he even knows someone's there. She continues following the sound until she comes upon a teenage girl wearing Banshee's costume, screaming at the vault door until it breaks open.
See, it works.
Yeah. You can't argue with the results. She reveals her codename to be SIRYN.
SIRYN?
That SIRYN's here.
Wow.
And her powers are evenly matched with Spider-Woman's. But Jessica's wits and experience win the day until, of course, Juggernaut bursts in.
Wow.
He knocks Spider-Woman unconscious, and the 3 bad guys escape with the vibranium. Jessica comes to, Cyclops style, surrounded by cops with their guns pointed at her, accusing her of robbing the Mint. If only this was a museum, it would have been exactly 1-to-1.
Yeah.
So there's some weird stuff in this issue. Number one of Spider-Woman's house guests is called Ben Disraeli.
Yeah.
You can't just call a character Benjamin Disraeli. Former Prime Minister of England, the founder of the British Conservative Party. You can't just call somebody Benjamin Disraeli.
Wait, when was he Prime Minister? Well before this?
Yes, he's a historical figure at that point.
Okay, then yeah, it would be like naming a character Abraham Lincoln.
Exactly. When she's flirting with her landlord David Ishima,
yeah,
he hands her the bonsai tree and he's like, "Oh no, there's a spider on it. I'm so embarrassed. I didn't mean to give you something with spiders." And she goes, "Don't worry about it. I have a certain affinity for spiders." And I just imagine him responding, "Wait, are you Spider-Woman?"
No.
Why did you say that then?
I like spiders.
Okay, you said that in a really weird way.
Can you massage me? Can you massage my shoulder?
SIRYN uses her powers in the most insane ways. She creates a bubble of sound around herself.
Yeah, it protects her. She's she's shooting like concentrated beams of sound.
Yeah, she's a little better with these powers than Banshee ever was.
Seems like it. Yeah, she gets a little more exploratory with them.
Because I bet Banshee would be like, "Yeah, you can't make a bubble of sound. That doesn't make any sense." But she's not constrained by things like reason and science.
Right. She can make a sound bubble. It is like sound is just a vibration, right? And if you have enough molecules vibrating at a high enough frequency in a concentrated area, it could.
Yeah, but you're just saying a solid. If you push so many molecules of the air together that it creates a solid. Yeah, you're right. At that point.
So she's vibrating them in the. It could work.
So your theory is that we could take a gas and shake it up so hard that it turns into a wall.
No, what she's doing is she's vibrating the micromaterials in the air to form a thin, invisible, but solid wall.
Also, they keep calling their apartment a flat because it's Chris Claremont.
Yeah, where the hell do you think we are?
Anyway, that's all I have to say about this. How about you?
I think we left one thing out intentionally just for the sake of the story, but there is a point where Spider-Woman is falling to the ground, about to plummet to her death, but she does find an updraft.
She finds an updraft.
And she manages to. She also tells us she can't fly; she just glides. But that's just
flies
not true.
Constantly. She's just constantly flying. Yeah,
she can take off from the ground.
We see her do it several times. So, okay, there is one more thing I want to talk about, and it's we have to fucking figure this out, Pat. Okay. How the hell does Cerebro work?
So
it identifies new mutants, right? But that's not true. Because it's often identifying mutants that are like 40 years old.
Right. Like from, what was it, issue 3, we saw it identify Blob, who had been performing at a circus for years using his blob powers.
Right. So it doesn't identify mutants who are just discovering their powers, whose powers just manifesting. It doesn't necessarily identify mutants who are using their powers. Because every now and then it'll identify a mutant who their power is still latent.
Yeah, they haven't faded, like Kitty.
Like Kitty, exactly. I mean, in that issue, it found Dazzler and Kitty, one who had been using her powers forever.
Yeah.
And another one who had never used her powers.
Right. And so going back to the Blob example too, like, and Dazzler and Kitty are all proof that it's not just finding threatening mutants, because none of them posed a threat until the X-Men got involved.
Yeah, that's true. And if it just knows where every mutant is all the time, then why do they ever have trouble finding? They would know where Magneto is at all times. And Blob and Toad and
Right.
Avalanche and Mastermind. The fucking Dark Phoenix saga would never have happened. Because
Maybe.
Professor X would have been like, oh, hey, Mastermind's been following you around.
Maybe it's like precognitive. Maybe it says...
Something interesting's about to happen with this.
Yes, something will affect you involving this mutant. And
It's
it
like...
really fucks with your head when you think about the Blob story and how... it says like, hey, you better get involved with this mutant because being involved with this mutant is going to cause trouble for you. And they become the actual... It's like when Neo knocks off the cookies in the Matrix and the Oracle's like, would you have knocked those cookies over if I didn't tell you about them? That's fun to think about, right?
So it's like half mutant detector and half Zoltan, the fortune-telling machine.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Pat, I would really love to sit back and just kick my feet up and sip on my water and hear about Spider-Woman number 38, if you could.
Okay, Matt, but I need you to pay attention. I'll let you kick back a little bit, but you still have to engage, okay? Matt.
Okay, I will.
Spider-Woman number 38, Criminal at Large. Chris Claremont, writer. Steve Lealoha, Wyachek and Co. artists. Tom Orzechowski, letterer. Scheel and Harfield, colorists. Denny O'Neil, editor. John Schuper, editor-in-chief.
Man, that was a rough series of names.
Yeah, these are tricky. Why do they have so many artists and colorists?
I have no clue, man. There was like 19 inkers in the last issue.
Yeah.
Steve Lealoha rules. And
oh, yeah?
he will appear in New Mutants later. And it's going to be a bummer because he follows Bill Sienkiewicz. So he's kind of like sure. Yeah. But he's still great. And his layouts in this issue are incredible.
Yeah, they're so much fun.
There's he does like 9-panel grids. He does these long wide panels that show one bit of action while at the end of each one there's a tiny little panel showing some correlated piece of action. It's really cool.
Yeah. Release date March 3rd, 1981. Cover date June 1981. Spider-Woman is being arrested for stealing the bulk of the US government's vibranium supply. Until
keep it all in one bank
yeah.
in San Francisco.
Until, that is, she bonks the arresting officer on the head and flies away.
My one weakness.
As she arrives home, we see she's being watched from a distance by the X-Men. The housewarming party is still going, and Jessica settles in and starts flirting with David Ishima again. The doorbell rings, and in walks Warren Worthington, who knows Lindsay through Ben Disraeli.
The 1800s British Prime Minister.
He brought his friends Peter and Aurora, who are immediately the hottest fucking people at this party.
Full of actors. A party full of actors. Yeah.
They ask to speak to Jessica in private and learn about the activity of Black Tom, Juggernaut, and this SIRYN that no one's heard of. They all leave the party together, which David is a little bummed about.
Aw, poor David Ishima. I wonder whatever happens with him.
I don't know, Matt. We're not following Spider-Woman. Cut to Suisun Bay. Is that how you pronounce that?
Suisun.
Cut to Suisun Bay, just upriver of San Francisco, where we find Storm flying over an old warship graveyard carrying Colossus.
Warship graveyard, not worship graveyard, right?
Warship graveyard.
Warship graveyard.
Moira McTaggart at the Warship Graveyard. Inside one of these ships, Black Tom is counting vibranium bars when the ship is hit by a missile-like force. Jessica Drew, acting as our narrator, says, "The plan was simple. Storm dropped Peter." It's so good. That's the narration as the boat just implodes.
It's Claremont trying to do the like private eye thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, look, I don't think this comic is bad. I like it. I kind of want to go back and read all of Spider-Woman after reading these 2 issues.
I know.
But fuck, he's not good at this.
Yeah. The plan was simple. Water starts rushing into the ship, and as Juggernaut goes to investigate, he's hit by a bolt of lightning and knocked out of sight. SIRYN starts to fly away, but Spider-Woman is in hot pursuit. SIRYN lets out a sonic scream
All screams
and
are sonic.
paralyzes Jessica, who starts plummeting to the ground until Warren does his one job and catches her. They're not out of trouble yet, though.
Glad he's here.
SIRYN, Matt, this is wild. SIRYN uses her screams to create a hologram of a pterodactyl.
Stop it! You can't do a hologram out of sound. They're two opposite things.
They're doing it right here. She creates a hologram of pterodactyl, and in his stupor, Warren allows himself to be mind controlled by her screams. He drops Spider-Woman at SIRYN's command, but Jessica has come to and flies away. Back on the ship.
She can't fly, she can only glide. Upwards from a standing position.
Oh, right.
While she's standing on the ground, she can glide upwards.
Back on the ship, the X-Men fight the bad guys. Colossus takes out Juggernaut, albeit temporarily, and kicks Black Tom's ass so bad that he starts regretting his life of crime. Warren punches Storm, but after that his brain gets fixed and he's a good guy again. This is... At the end, I'll recap all the dumbass things that Warren does in this comic, but This is my absolute favorite, where he's mind controlled, but it's that type of mind control that we've seen where he's got all his wits about him.
He just seems to be himself, yeah.
Doesn't like the... Because Storm is like, Warren, have you completed your mission? And he goes, no, I'm working for the bad guys now, and then punches her.
Exactly.
Jessica outsmarts SIRYN and knocks her out with a venom blast. Preparing for Juggernaut's inevitable return, the gang finds 2 large metal poles in close proximity to each other on the ship. Colossus is the bait, standing between the 2 poles and challenging Juggernaut to a fight. Juggernaut charges in, locks him up, but Peter switches to human form to get smaller and wriggles out of his grip, where Angel swoops in and flies him out of harm's way. With Aurora's help. He can't do that fast enough by himself.
Yeah.
Aurora conjures a lightning bolt to hit one of the poles. Jessica hits the other with a powerful venom blast, and it creates an electrical arc that meets on Juggernaut, who's standing right in the middle. The power required to stop him is so great that the ship explodes, but all the good guys escape. It really is. Jessica Drew is still narrating here, and she just goes like, and then the ship blew up, and then we all got off. We all escaped. That's all we get of it.
Yeah.
Back on land, Black Tom feels a great guilt for involving a teenager in all of this, takes responsibility for the robbery, and asks the X-Men to take care of SIRYN. The cops tell Spider-Woman that they won't arrest her, but that she should fuck off, and we see her contemplate this as she opens her new private detective's office. The beginning.
Whoa.
That son of a bitch did it again.
So, all right. You at one point in this recap said Jessica outsmarts SIRYN.
Mm-hmm.
Her plan is just get nude.
Oh my God. Yes.
She's like, puts her clothes somewhere and gets completely naked, and then when SIRYN blasts the clothes, she jumps out nude and blasts SIRYN.
Yeah. She just stuffs her costume with packing peanuts and hides it behind a half wall. It's so good. And here's why it's so good. Because, listen, Matt, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Jessica Drew isn't an attractive woman, right? She is. Clearly David Ashima sees it, but it's fun when she's nude because she clearly takes the same approach to being nude that the X-Men do, where it's just like, I don't give a shit.
I'm nude. Who cares?
Yeah. I'm fighting you. Worry about that. It's more of a carefree thing than like an overly sexualized thing to me.
Yeah.
Although it's also that they draw her in ridiculous poses, but
Yeah. One of the things they keep saying when Black Tom goes to blast people
Mhm.
is they keep referring to his bio beam or his bio blast. That's just piss. That's piss. They're talking about they're talking about piss. I gotta go
his body stream.
I gotta go fire my bio beam into the toilet. Hey, guys, don't wait up. I'm gonna go bioblast behind these bushes. And I'll be right behind you.
Gotta go take a bio piss. We've never been clear on his power set, but
no, he pisses out of a staff. and it can knock people unconscious.
We do. Sorry, I just saw the note. The plan was just to get nude. Okay, a couple of things I want to talk about here. Number one, Angel, Warren Commission. Here's a list of things that happen. He gets hypnotized by an illusion. He drops Spider-Woman midair. He tries to pursue her, but immediately loses her. He says to Storm, "No, actually, I've switched sides," before punching her.
Yeah.
Once he's a good guy again, he insults Spider-Woman's appearance after dropping her out of the sky. He's talking about her tattered costume because she took it off and SIRYN blasted it.
Yeah.
But you are the last person that should be telling her that she shouldn't have a damaged costume. He gets called out in another moment by Colossus for being rude. He's calling Spider-Woman webs, and Peter very sweetly but sternly goes, "She has a name, Tavarish."
Yeah, it's more of just Angel not fitting in, right? That is just like a theme that is so consistent in this X-Men run. Is like Angel tries to rejoin the X-Men, no one likes him, he doesn't like anyone. They don't have the same sense of humor, they don't fight the same way, they don't have the nothing fits.
Everybody's just like, we don't talk that way about people.
We don't do that, Warren.
Yeah. And then finally, his one thing, which is to fly fast and save people by doing that, he can't even do in this situation without Storm's help. He needs her to create a gust of wind that he can ride to go faster.
It is. Do you feel a little heartbroken when we realize just how bad Warren Worthington is? Like, did you know Angel sucked so bad before we started reading this?
No, I had no idea. And he was awful.
The more we keep reading, the more it's just like evidence piling on top of itself. And it starts to like hurt my feelings. Like, man, he really does suck. Like,
how
so
did I not
bad?
Pick up on this?
Like, I thought I kind of liked him.
My other question about this is, how do we feel about the term the Weather Witch? Something a lot of people are using to refer to Storm if they either don't know her name or just don't care to refer to her by her name. They just go, the Weather Witch.
But I think it would depend on how Storm feels about it.
That's fair.
I think it kind of sounds badass.
Yeah, I think it sounds rad.
But I could see it being offensive.
Right.
But it kind of sounds badass.
Yeah. All right. We'll leave it at that. But mutantmenacepod@gmail.com. Let us know how you feel about
Weather
Witch.
And if you are a Weather Witch, let us know if that's offensive.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think of that.
So this was issue 38 of Spider-Woman. It's going to go for about another 12 more issues, and then it's over, and then it ends.
Oh,
and I don't think Spider-Woman gets her own comic for a very. I'm actually going to pull it up if that's okay. Yeah, no, she doesn't get. She has this 50 issue series, and then it doesn't. She doesn't appear. She doesn't get her own again until 1993, where she has a mini series. Then she gets one in 1999. then one in 2009. Oh, one in the 2010s, and then one very recently. Yeah.
All right.
So she does get a bunch,
She comes back.
but she, it'll be 10 years till she gets another one.
She fits in so well with the X-Men. I hope she comes back, because just like adding her to that teamwork dynamic made it felt like a natural fit.
I don't know, Pat. I don't think we're ever going to see her in the X-Men again.
Oh.
Sorry.
Well, that being said,
look, I know all you want to do in the whole world is talk about Uncanny X-Men number 148. But first, I want to tell you a little story that I heard recently.
Oh.
It's called Marvel Treasury edition number 26, At the Sign of the Lion. Script Mary Jo Duffy, pencils Ken Landgraf, inks George Perez.
Hey.
Lettered by Michael Higgins, colored by Glynis Wein, and edited by Jomp Schuper. Released April 1st, 1980. Covered date July 1980. Logan is drinking alone in the bar, fuming about how big of a nerd Cyclops is when a woman comes up and tries to hit on him. He uses an ableist slur at her and then tries to tell her he's just joking when Hercules bursts into the bar. Remember him from the Champions?
Yeah, from the Champions.
Yeah. All the women flock to Hercules. Hercules asks Wolverine to move, but Wolverine refuses, so Hercules picks him up and tosses him across the room. Wolverine yells about Scott Summers again and then tries to punch Hercules, but just gets swatted away. He plops his claws.
Plop. Plop. That
Plop,
was the
plop.
noise they made.
Why don't you come say that to my face, bub? Plop, plop. He pops his claws, and they really start going at it, trashing the bar around him. Wolverine gets his claws stuck in a marble tabletop, which makes Hercules laugh. So Wolverine smashes the table over his head.
God damn.
Hercules decides this has been a good enough fight, so he offers Logan his hand in friendship. It's then that they notice the entire bar is cleared out, and they both drink, bummed that no one was around, to appreciate their big, cool fight. The end.
Ugh.
I heard that story from a guy outside the Wawa told it to me. So I hope you enjoyed it. I had to remember the whole thing.
This was so fun. This was so goofy and fun. There's so many comics where it's just Wolverine going to a bar, looking for a good time. There's a very memorable, and I think it's from like 2008 or 2009, but Spider-Man Wolverine comic where it's just Wolverine's birthday and he invites Spider-Man out to the bar, and I think they get into some fracas, but it's more about just him being out looking for a good time and involving other supers.
And it doesn't bother him that he gets into a fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They're
He's
both
just,
like, you know what, that was pretty good.
And this happens every time Wolverine goes to a bar and gets into a fight. He's just kind of like, that was fun.
Also,
right.
we get Wolverine in his civilian clothing, which is always a treat. He's wearing like a flannel and a jean jacket. He is blasting cigs.
And this is
indoors.
He doesn't change into his Wolverine costume at any point. So like, I don't know. Do you think people reading this at this time, like, do you think everybody knew who Wolverine was at this point? It's 1981.
They must. He's such a popular character from the outset, and he's been the focus of one of Marvel's most successful comics, right?
Yeah, but I mean, John Byrne talks about, I was reading John Byrne talking about how the comic was really more successful in retrospect, and it was really towards like the end of their run that it started to get, but then that's John Byrne, and sometimes he just says shit that's wrong and stupid. So, who knows?
All right, Matt. Well,
do you like that story I told you?
No, it was a very good story.
Thank you.
whoever that gentleman that told you was, tell him
He was outside the
good job.
He was outside the Wawa, and
But he forgot to mention that Wolverine was blasting cigs.
he touched my hoagie while he was
Oh.
telling me the story, and I ended up having to give it the whole thing to him.
Yeah. He got you.
Yeah. Yeah. It was right, and it was like right in the middle of the story when it was like Wolverine smashes the table over Hercules' head, and I was so excited, and he just slapped his
Stuck his
hand on
finger.
my hoagie, and I was like, fuck. And then I think that was his whole plan.
He spotted you as a mark. This guy will love a good Wolverine and Hercules story.
Yeah.
All right, Matt.
Good night.
Stretches in here because
There's more.
am about to tell you about Uncanny X-Men number 148. Cry, Mutant. Chris Claremont, writer, Dave Cockrum, and Joseph Rubinstein, artists, Janice Chiang, letterer, Glynis Wein, colorist, Louise Jones, editor, and Jomp Super editor-in-chief. Release date, May 12th, 1981. Cover date, August 1981. When last we left Scott Summers and Lee Forrester, they were shipwrecked on an island in the Bermuda Triangle. Scott had lost his glasses and was containing his eye beams with a blindfold, and Lee had just discovered a giant city that had appeared offshore. As this issue opens, we get a closer look at the two sexy-ass babes in their ripped clothing and enter the city.
Yeah. Wow.
This first shot of the two of them side by side is like Rob Liefeld levels of ridiculous. Just
horned you up, huh?
Is that what Rob Liefeld does for you, man? Because look, it is a beautiful study of the human body, but the level of muscle on like the tightness and the development, it's like that 90s trend where everybody is just their muscles are building muscles.
And that's like Cyclops is super, super fucking jacked, and Lee has that thing where like legitimately looks like an hourglass on her stomach.
I was going to say the figure of a literal hourglass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And those ripped jeans.
Yeah, they're
horned up.
They're like above mid thigh.
Yeah.
Like there's like maybe 20% of that thigh left covered. The city is massive, seemingly carved out of green marble with futuristic spires, seashells on the friezes, and giant statues of chthonic octopus-faced creatures in front of the archways. Here's the thing, Matt.
Yeah.
Lee, when Cyclops is like, can you describe this city to me? She's like, I couldn't put it in words. You just did it. We described it really well.
We did it. We got it. I mean, yeah, what's her problem?
I also think Cyclops doesn't quite believe her because he's been blind this whole time and they've been stranded on an island. And she's like, no, I swear this city wasn't here before. And he's just like, okay, well, why don't you describe it to me?
So, yeah, this whole city, I believe, is based on actual Lovecraftian mythos. Like,
sure, yeah.
I believe this is from, oh boy, what's that? I believe it's based on relay. You can't pronounce this shit.
I'm not even looking at it.
From Call of Cthulhu, that, you know, it's just like an island where the old one lived or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, this has some very Lovecraftian vibes to it, right? The big, almost emerald, like dark emerald city. It comes from out of the ocean, so everything's got like a little slime on it. It's decaying.
Yeah.
It's you can definitely feel that.
Yeah, I think and
Lee pretty vaguely describes the city to Scott and leads the way for a blind Scott until nightfall. But when Lee kisses him, he pulls back, still processing the loss of Jean. Lee, problematically, throws a temper tantrum at this and runs off, leaving Scott alone.
Yeah.
Blind.
He's fucking blind. Because
Thankfully.
He wouldn't sleep with you? Fucking you run away and leave a blind man alone in an ancient chthonic Island City?
Thankfully, after
Okay.
he blasts the ceiling with his eye beams, she comes back and they do a sweet hug.
She apologizes.
In Westchester, New York, Wolverine is hunting Nightcrawler. But it's okay, folks. It's just a training exercise, and Logan wins, meaning Kurt owes him yet another case of beer. This is very cute.
Yeah.
In the mansion, Warren is yelling at Xavier about Wolverine's continued involvement in the team. When Storm confronts him about it, he quits the team and flies off. Good riddance.
Bye, Angel. We'll
Storm
see an X Factor in 4 years.
Storm continues to discuss the matter with Xavier and Moira after Warren flies off. She's adamant about his place on the team, while Xavier isn't always so sure.
Angel's reasoning here is like, and okay, we'll see him in X Factor in 4 years, but before, like, he'll have cameos and stuff. But his reasoning here is so thin, right? It's so clearly just he doesn't fit in. He can't hack it. He's not as good as the other X-Men. Like, he's
finding the one that doesn't want to pretend to be his friend
to
take that all out on.
And he's like, Wolverine, he's actually a psycho. And like, did you see the way he cut through that Storm robot? And okay, fine, he knew that it was not Storm because of his extra senses. But if it was a real woman and not a robot, do you think he would have killed it? Yeah, he probably would have.
Well, it's like, no, he
wouldn't have.
That's the whole thing. He knew it was a robot.
Yeah, and you're admitting that out loud. He says, I wouldn't want to be part of any team that has him for a member. And Storm fucking cold-ass line says, does that include the human race?
Oh.
Nice, dude.
Yeah,
nice.
She got him.
Got him.
In the hangar, Banshee fixes the Blackbird's engine while Colossus holds it aloft, and his little sister, Ileana Rasputin, claps with joy.
Aww. She says, she asks Colossus if she's going to turn to steel when she grows up.
Yeah, interesting.
Very interesting.
She asks in Russian, too. It's very cute. They're having a little Russian conversation.
I just want to keep that in mind.
As they finish up, Kurt bamfs in and tells Sean that the professor wants to see him in the mansion. When he gets there, a girl with similarly colored orange hair named Teresa Rourke hands him a letter.
Teresa?
The letter is from Black Tom, and it tells Sean that his first wife, before she died, had a child, and Teresa is that child. Oh. We know her, of course, as SIRYN from Spider-Woman.
That's SIRYN!
And what we didn't know is that she's actually Banshee's daughter. I thought she was just like a relative.
Yeah, they're daddy-daughter. Now they're with each
cousin.
other.
That's adorable.
Aww. Yeah.
The rest of the X-Men and Spider-Woman burst in and share in Sean's joy.
She came all the way back from San Francisco just to be here.
But Moira, feeling insecure, she wanders off. Aurora follows, and Moira tells her that she's worried Sean won't love her because she can't give him a child after her first child became Proteus. Cut to the streets of New York, where a strange gloved hand lifts a manhole cover and a cloaked figure called Caliban emerges.
Whoa.
He's lonely and afraid that if anyone sees him, they'll kill him, but senses his own kind in a nearby skyscraper. Within that skyscraper, Kitty Pryde, Aurora Monroe, Stevie Hunter, and Jessica Drew are all arriving in a club called Infinity to see Dazzler perform. In the lobby, Caliban absorbs the fear his emotions cause in the security guards and turns it into strength to beat them back.
I don't remember him having this power later.
My only familiarity with Caliban is from
The
Logan,
Tempest,
the movie
William
Logan.
Shakespeare. Oh, okay.
Feeling guilt about hurting the humans, he disappears into the elevator and emerges into the club in the middle of Dazzler's set. Seeing the commotion, Kitty disappears through the floor, changes into her costume, and promptly falls down an elevator shaft.
What? No!
But she realizes that she can use her power to walk on air, and everything's fine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I guess we all forgot that.
As the commotion in the club increases, Dazzler notices and amps up the show of lights created by her mutant powers to distract the audience, giving Aurora and Jessica time to change into Storm and Spider-Woman. Sprite pops out to see what's happening in the club, and Caliban grabs her. She's like him, you see, and she will come with him and be his friend. He fights off Storm and Spider-Woman and absconds with Kitty down the elevator shaft. People are developing Natalie Portman-like crushes on Kitty. It's
not
uncomfortable.
Good. Chris Claremont's like, I introduced a 13-and-a-half-year-old girl to the team. Time for everybody to lust after her.
Yeah. The crowd is panicking now, so Dazzler uses her powers to literally dazzle them, hypnotizing them with her light. Spider-Woman and Storm converge on Caliban as he exits the building and beat his ass until he cries for mercy. They pull his mask off and see his pale, bald head and giant yellow eyes. He looks like a skull.
Yeah, he looks kind of skull-like.
He looks, I mean this complimentary to the artist, this is not an insult, but he looks like if you tried to make a realistic drawing of an Undertale character. He tells them he just wanted a friend because everyone's hated him. He's a mutant and no one has ever treated him kindly. He has the power to sense other mutants and it drew him above ground. He tells them he's sorry and Storm offers him friendship to come with them back to the mansion. But then police sirens start and Caliban disappears. The women, all back out of costume except for Dazzler, reconnoiter an Infinity Club and talk about the prejudices mutants face and how they themselves are sometimes guilty of it. Back in the Bermuda Triangle, Scott and Lee are talking about where to get food when a voice appears. Lee is excited to hear it, but Scott recognizes immediately who it must be. It had recently made this island its home and was surprised to find others there with it. We turn the page and finally see who it is. And it's Magneto!
Magneto!
To be continued.
Wow. Holy cow. How many times have we seen that cliffhanger?
I want to say 5.
I think it's 5. I think it's 5 now. Okay. Help me figure out if I'm missing any.
Okay.
Warren's parents opening a door to the mansion.
Right.
After Magneto filled it with traps.
Yeah. Last page.
Kevin McCallick.
Splash page of
the Magneto robot being Mesmero's boss in the City of Mutants.
Right. After they're stuck in the...
Was that a final page reveal?
Yes. Yeah. You're right.
Then the real Magneto being the creator in the Savage Land.
Yeah.
Then again with Mesmero in the circus.
In Mesmero's circus,
Mesmero's circus. These were all final page reveals, right?
I think so, yeah. And these are all the ones that I can remember, too.
I can't remember any others. I don't.
mutantmenacepod@gmail.com if you do.
But we should keep... this is not going to be the last one. I fucking guarantee it. Like, I can't remember any others, but I absolutely guarantee this is not the last time that on a final page reveal we see Magneto full page.
Kurt Rupert. And I'm quoting the issue here. They're describing him. They say, whose indigo skin renders him virtually invisible in the pre-dawn shadows.
They're already pulling back every time. They're pulling back a little further. Like, he didn't have the power to disappear. He's just, sometimes you can't see him because he's
actually very dark. This color is indigo. So you see in the indigo light of dawn.
Yeah, you can't
see that.
So you see, everything I wrote was consistent.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's what time it was when the leprechauns grabbed him.
Like when Wolverine kept trying to kill Nightcrawler. It's consistent because he was having his berserker rages.
Right.
How did you... Okay, so all this making friends with ROM and Spider-Woman and Hercules, I guess. Even thinking backwards to them making friends with Angel, to them making friends with Kitty and Dazzler, making friends with Stevie Hunter, all comes to a head here in this issue, except for Hercules and ROM. How do you feel about this one?
Overall, honestly, this little run that we read here, this little detour that we took, I really liked it. I thought the ROM stuff was just silly enough to enjoy it doesn't make sense, but it doesn't feel like it has to make sense. It's just there to be a fun comic. The Spider-Woman stuff is really good. I really enjoyed her interaction with the team.
Yeah.
She seems like a really well fleshed out character, interacting with other really well fleshed out characters, and then she sticks around. She comes back to the mansion with them, and just to hang out.
Yeah,
and she gets tied up in this this whole Caliban thing. But
I love that. I think this. Okay, so like the ROM stuff, inconsequential, right?
Yeah, whatever.
But the Spider-Woman stuff really gives context to this issue, 148. That I don't think I had the first time I read it. And this issue, there's a lot in this issue that feels very random if you haven't read those Spider-Woman issues. Like, the fuck? Banshee's got a daughter? What the fuck? Why is Spider-Woman here? What the what the fuck is any of this? And once you've read Spider-Woman, it kind of flows really naturally.
Well, I think it's really important that we see the X-Men in Spider-Woman's comic followed by Spider-Woman in the X-Men's comic. It's about establishing a network of friends for them.
Right.
And again, ROM kind of falls within that, but they're pretty sure they killed him by the end, so they really don't take anything away from it. But Spider-Woman is just a friend. She's another superhero that is a friend of the X-Men, and it kind of recontextualizes their relationships with like Moira McTaggart or Hank McCoy. It's
or like, even Dazzler.
Or
right?
Dazzler, yeah. Like, these are just the people that the X-Men know and can call in favors from, or can even just hang out with. And I think that's really really
there's
special.
The thing about it where it's like clearly the X-Men have some magnetism to them, where don't tell them that. Oh, don't use the word magnetism around them.
Unless it's Polaris.
Yeah, you're right. So they clearly have some magnetism to them where people want to be their friends, right? Like they meet people in other books or in their book. And those people just stay part of their social orbit. People are like, want to be close to Storm and Kitty.
Yeah.
They respect Wolverine. They love Kurt and Colossus. Like, I think that's, I don't know. I think that's really cool.
Yeah. It's about the ones that stick around, you know? Yeah. Spider-Man didn't stick around.
No, he hates them.
Fucking, who else did they try to team up with? Johnny Storm didn't stick around.
No, he hates them.
You know? But Spider-Woman,
Johnny Storm only likes Iceman.
She gets it.
And
she's
then
a freak too.
Iceman and Angel hate the X-Men. And so that makes Johnny Storm hate the X-Men.
Just these three young upstart men just being like, childhood ruined.
Oh my god, you're right. They're like comics gators for real in the real life world of this. Bobby Drake, Warren Worthington, and Johnny Storm sitting around being like, and they put a black woman on the team. Can you believe it?
Have you seen how short Wolverine is?
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
It's not historically accurate.
All right, good run. Overall, good
Very
run,
fun.
Matt.
Very fun.
Yeah.
Hey, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. I guess we're done. We're done for today.
No, we're not.
You've got an eye out, stuff that you could buy out. If you had a time machine that you would like to try out, it's Pat Steals and Deals.
That's right, folks. It's time for Pat Steals and Deals. Today we got a good one.
Ooh.
Dragon poster. Huge. 21 inches high and 38 inches wide. Color it yourself or leave it black and white. Scent rolled in protective tube.
It just says dragon. Fucking, that's a really good one.
Here's the kicker, Matt.
Yeah.
$25 each.
No! No fucking way. No way. 21 inches high, 38 inches wide.
Yeah, so it says huge, but it's really like 1.5 feet by 3
3.5
feet.
Yeah, a little more than 3 feet.
And let's look up the
That's pretty big though for
dollar
a
in
dragon poster.
1981. Comes out to about $89 today.
Would you spend
Dragon
$89 for dragon poster? Huge. Well, okay, hold on. It says, all right, I'm looking at it now. It says send $5.75 check or money order with name and address. So here's what I think. I think the regular dragon poster is $5.75, which is how much in today's money?
I'm doing the math. Hang on. I'm a human calculator. It just takes me a very long time.
I think like 16 to $20.
$20.47.
Oh,
Matt.
okay. All right. And then if you get the limited signed print, that's $25, and there's only 200 of those.
Signed by whom?
Dragon. It's Dragon poster, so it's signed by Dragon.
Well, don't forget, Matt. You can color it yourself.
But is it rolled up in a protective tube?
It is. It's sent to you rolled up in a protective tube already.
Oh my!
That was the problem
goodness.
that people used to try to stuff posters in envelopes. Like, why is this a selling
They just
point?
like fold it 500 times.
He's got an eye out, stuff that you could buy out. If you had a time machine that you would like to try out, it's at Deals and Seals.
Oh boy, Matt, I guess that's it. As always, please find us on wherever you're listening to this episode on, and listen to other episodes. Find us on Instagram at Mutant Menace Pod. Find us on YouTube. You can follow us. You can subscribe to us. Leave some comments. Join our Discord. We'll put a link in the comments to this show. There's just so many ways that you can interact with us.
mutantmenacepod@gmail.com. Did you say that part?
No, I didn't. You can. Thank you for the reminder, Matt. Email us at mutantmenacepod@gmail.com to be
Also,
featured on Pat's email corner.
Did you tell the people that you want to thank Krills Wilson for creating our music, and that you want to thank Julia Selly for the voice of Trish Tilby?
No, I didn't say that. Huh.
Oh, okay. Well, did you? There's nothing else to tell them, I don't think.
That's right. I think all we can do here, Matt, is close the show out with the line we close it out every single week.
Okay.
Always remember, let's pack the booty and be on our good glory.
And as always, I will not eat your soup swill now, mother, or ever again.